Thank you, Brett. Good morning, Coach. Just wondering about your lineup, first of all. Number one is Matt Murray. Did he make the trip? And are we expected to see the same from what we saw in practice yesterday?
Yeah, the forward lines and D will remain the same. Murr is skating this morning, is on the trip, so we'll see if he's able to back up. I'll talk to Berkey later today, and we'll make that decision.
I assume then that Anton Forsberg will get the call tonight, or am I assuming wrong?
Yeah, Forsberg will start tonight.
Okay. What do the Pittsburgh Penguins provide? Obviously, from the last meeting, they've changed their lineup here with the additions of Sid and Malcolm.
Well, they have depth throughout their lineup. They're really strong down the middle in Crosby, Malkin, and Carter. Bluger does a real nice job on the fourth line. Dumoulin's back in for them. They've got Letang. They've got goaltending. They got players that have won before and trying to win again. They got some guys that are really scoring. This is a really good hockey team. And, I watched them play against Vegas. Those are two high-end teams. It was a heck of a hockey game. And Pittsburgh comes out on top. So for our group here today, we have to be ready when that puck drops. They're really good at home. But it's going to be a real good test for us.
Chris Garriott, Post Media. Hey, DJ, does Pittsburgh kind of come at you in waves that what you're going to have to deal with tonight?
For sure. They really forecheck. They skate. Much different than Buffalo the other night. Buffalo, doesn't dump it in a whole lot, carries it in. Doesn't make your D turn. These guys are going to make us turn. They're going to get above you. They're not going to give you much. Their special teams are really good. They've got three deep lines of guys that can not only score but know how to play the right way. And like I said, they've all won. I mean, all three of their centers have won Stanley Cups, as well as some guys on the back end. And they're trying to do it one more time. It's a real good team and a real good test for our young guys.
Just on Tyler Ennis wasn't in a rotation yesterday, so is he going to play tonight?
No, Tyler's not going to play tonight. I just think a night off, for Tyler, give him a reset. We need some offense from him. And, it's not all on him, but we need some secondary scoring. And, sometimes you just need a reset to get back in there. But we need a little bit more offense from him.
When he's a good player for you, DJ, what is he doing to be effective?
Well, his biggest strength in the O-zone, he can hold on to pucks. He can make real smart plays. He's good on the power play. Right now I think he's just in a little bit of a rut. Nothing's gone in for him. Certainly he's got a long streak without scoring right now, and he just needs one to go in. And I think he's a real streaky player, and if one goes in for him, he can get rolling. But I think Bish is a guy that's sat out a ton here. He wasn't 100% coming off COVID, when he first came back. It's taken him a bit to get going. But he skates and he works, and he gives you everything he has. He can take faceoffs, he can kill penalties, and certainly with Brownie out, we're going to need more guys on that penalty-killing unit. And I just think he deserves a chance to play. He skates every day with us, and he hasn't played in a game, and he deserves to play.
TedColumnSenators.com.
Hey DJ, tonight will be the 200th game of Nick Paul's career. I just wanted to know your thoughts on obviously everything he's been through, going through waivers and cementing himself finally as a full-time NHL player a couple of seasons ago. What kind of reaching that kind of landmark might mean to a guy like that?
Well, I mean, you got to figure. I mean, the how hard it is to play in this league. First off, to get to 200 is a heck of a milestone, but to get there after going through waivers, whatever he went through 2 or 3 times, when you go through waivers and no one in the league picks you up, and it's happened to me, it's a feeling. You've hit the bottom. You realize that everyone in the league has decided that you're not an NHL player, and then right then and there, you got to make that decision. What do I want to do with that? And I think, to Nick Paul's credit, he continued to get better at the things that he's good at now. He didn't pout. He went back to work. And sometimes you just need a break. And for him, I got to see his best hockey in North Bay, and I seen him when the chips were down. I seen him in the World Juniors. And then with a couple injuries, Nick got an opportunity. And he came in and it's just been a steady force, continues to get better. And I think he's a guy, a glue guy with us here that, not only the guys, but the staff and the community lives here year round. He's just a good guy and a real good story for us.
Hannah, TSN.
Hey DJ, I think if I've done my research right, the last time you guys won in Pittsburgh was 2014. You guys generated so many shots the other night. How could that gain some confidence going into a really tough club to play in?
Well, we had 7-8 chances the other night, second best of the year, scoring chances behind in Florida when we had 9 that night, and it just didn't go in. But in saying that, we weren't on the goalie enough. If you want to score, sometimes you got to score ugly goals. You got to take the goalie's eyes, and I think we weren't on the goalie enough the other night. Take nothing away from Hauser, great goalie in junior, and came in and did a real good job for them the other night. But we did have the puck a lot. I thought we broke it out well. Young guys had a lot of really good touches. Again, Brandstrom Docker, I thought, had a lot of really good touches. They look way more confident. But this team here tonight is an all-new animal. You're not going to get nearly the time and space. I think Vegas, I was just finishing up there. They had only 13 or 14 shots after 2 the other night. You're not going to get those opportunities. So you got to be willing to shoot, get it back, shoot, get it back. But it poses the same kind of game as we played in Calgary. They've got depth, they've got all this. We've got to come out and be ready when that puck drops.
And my other question, just how is Matt Murray doing health-wise? And you mentioned it's weird to go face your former team. Like, has he been in the building? And could you share maybe some of his emotions he might be feeling right now?
Well, I seen him this morning at the rink, and he's going to morning skate, and it's just a weird feeling. I know I went through it, and it's not at the NHL level. Let's not kid ourselves. At the American League level, but it's the same emotions when it comes to going back and seeing your old trainers. Your old. It wasn't coaches for me, but for him it'd be these old coach, the parking lot guy. There's all those things that go with playing hockey that isn't the things people see. You see the same guy at the gate every day. You walk in for 6 years, and hi, how you doing? You ask him about his family or whatever the case may be, and you really grow a family. The Zamboni guy, everything. You really grow a culture amongst the community, and then when you come back for the first time, it is different. But it is nice to say hi to people, and you want to get that first game underway. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to play, and we'll see if he can back up.
Mark Broussard, Ladois.
You probably looked at the schedule a little more after you came on officially yesterday. For tonight's the first game in 15 in 100 days. What challenge is that going to pose?
Well, for the first time, our guys are really going to experience the grind, and essentially that's what the playoffs is. As hard as 82 games is, Norris has not played 82 in the National Hockey League. Either is Drake, Timmy, but now you're going to play 50 and 100, and you really have to take care of yourself. You have to really manage your energy. We're going to do our best to really, the practice time, and be as short as we can while continuing to get better. But this is a different circumstance, and it's not going to just be us. There's going to be a lot of teams that are tired, and who can do their best managing it. And we are young, but it's not so much probably the physical as it is the mental of, are you on a hot streak? Are you not scoring? Are you playing good? Are you not playing good? All these things weigh into in such a short span. So it's uncharted waters to a lot of guys, but we are young. We're energetic. We have a lot of enthusiasm, and the one thing we got to do is just play hard every night and let the chips fall where they may.
The final one is back to Matt Dickle.
Hey, DJ, I was meant to ask, have you seen a bit of a growth in Alex Formenton here over the last couple of games? I think he's got multiple points in 3 of the last 5. You're starting to see him maybe find himself a bit more comfortable.
Who's that, sorry?
Alex Formenton.
Yeah, I think Formy's coming along nicely. I think, he looked like this in London, the OHL. He'd get a breakaway or 2 a night. And then he went for a year in Belleville there, and did a nice job. And I think him and Timmy playing together, starting to have a little bit of chemistry. Last night or 2 nights ago, he gets 2 breakaways. He's dangerous. He's done a real nice job on the penalty kill. We're gonna give him some power play touches tonight. And that's, I guess, all part of the process here is you got to put these guys in situations to play. He's playing on both sides of the special teams now with Connor out, and I don't know where else you can get that experience. And he looked real good yesterday. As the pop guy on the power play, tipped a couple in. Like I said, he's a great kid that I think is going to be a huge piece of this team going forward. There's always, the talk of the top guys, but to win, you're going to need the formies and these guys to get their 20 or 25 a year and kill penalties and do all those things. And I think we've got ourselves a real good player in Alex Formenton.